Yo, what's up, existent fan base? Today, I was just playing some Cataclysm and realized video opportunity. I'm gonna be rating every part of Cataclysm in difficulty, hardest to easiest, and I'll give a rating out of 10. I don't know, I just decided to do this idea because I was bored, and also I want to share my opinion out in the world. So yeah, let's get started. Starting off with the infamous first wave, this part is known for being the hardest part of Cataclysm. It just is. Like, every single click here is insane. Like, you can see what the hitbox is like. Look at these gaps. Compared to the rest of the level, it's just really hard. There's not much really, like, to say that doesn't already get shown here, but this one click over here is the hardest click of this part, and this transition is harder than people expect. So yeah, there's a few bugs like that don't really happen that much, but that's really just overall summary of the part. Really hard, hardest part, easy, 9 out of 10. Let me showcase it real quick. Well, there it is, the first wave of Cataclysm, and the hardest part. Okay, so part number 2 is another infamous part, the Cataclysm ship. It's just known for being hard. Once again, just like the wave, it's a pretty easy 8.5 out of 10 for most people, at least on 240 hits. I'd say it's a bit easier, more like 7 out of 10. But unless you have insane consistency, it's still really difficult. Like, it seems easy at first, but it genuinely isn't, especially this straight fly. It's so hard, especially at 60 as well. On 60, this part is a 10 out of 10, which is why the first wave wasn't a 10 out of 10. This this ship on 60 is actually hell. But most people have FPS bypass and have ability to play this on higher refresh rates, but if you don't, that's depressing. Good luck. But yeah, not much else to say other than this duel makes me want to kill myself, and it's slightly off-centered, which is the biggest disservice to humanity. Well, anyways, time to try to beat it. Well, that's the ship. The next hardest part is a big surprise, because it's this ball. It's really close to the Vermilion ball in Bloodbath, where it's hard but easy at the same time. Like, you die to it, but you shouldn't be dying to it. For me, at least, because this is my opinion, it's subjective. For me, this part is the run killer. It causes me to die so much. I can't even tell you how many times I've died on this one click over here. Like, it is sad. I have died to this part so many times that my heart rate doesn't even get high when I get here anymore. So, just because of these reasons, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But I can definitely see why someone would be like, this is not hard. So, here's the showcase of the part. Well, yeah. Again, nothing too crazy. It's just hard because it's a choke point. At least for me, I've stated that enough. Okay, next hardest part is this ship part right here. Yeah, I would say this part is pretty difficult. Like, learning it at least, it's memory. Okay, this part really deters a lot of people from beating it. And when you do try to learn it, the main difficult parts are like this area, like right around here. This causes like a lot of this, at least for me, when I was like bad, I could not learn the click pattern. And also this portal, it should be here, man. I'm just saying, G-Boy was really trying to cause as much pain as possible there, because if it was in front instead, it would actually be so much better. But once you learn the click pattern, it's hard to die here that much, especially after completing such a hard part. So you learn it's not that hard, but learning it is hard. Getting consistent at it is kind of difficult. So overall, 6.5 out of 10 is what I would rate this part. Anyways, time for the showcase. Yeah, it's so consistent once you get the click pattern. Next hardest part is this straight fly thing, whatever. It's not even straight. You can see it's slightly misaligned. Well, that's not even the start of all the issues with this part. This part over here is not very long. It's only like 4 seconds, but it's so high up on the list just because it's actually difficult. Like this straight fly is not that hard. It's like you have to go down slightly from here, do the straight fly, and then you gotta time this perfectly. It takes a lot of practice, especially because the mini and the upside down, like it really messes you up. Once you learn exactly how much to weigh, exactly how much stuff to do, then you end up dying here because this stupid orb is so far away that you always die to the spike. So this entire thing is hell. I always die to these spikes. It's just really annoying. The transition out is also bad, but that's for another part. It's just short, so that's why this like not that high. Otherwise, this part in raw like skill is probably around the same difficulty, if not higher than the wave. I would give it the same rating as the last part, a 6.5 out of 10. Anyways, showcase time. Next hardest part is this UFO. Once again, same thing as this ship over here. Hard to learn in the start, but once you get it down, it's so consistent. I'd say 35 to 100 is the run that I would do before I start going from zero. The UFO is just a great part of the level. Like, at first, it seems really challenging, but once you get it down, it's so good. And also, tip, from this part to this part, try double clicking and clicking like a little late, like clicking from here to here. Double clicking will help, and it's just better. So I would rate this part a 5.5 out of 10, 5 out of 10, something like that. Well, time to play it. It's not that challenging. Next hardest part is this ball part right here. So it makes him really intimidating at first, just like this part, just like this part. You know, all the parts seem intimidating in the start, but once you learn the click pattern, I'm telling you, it's so consistent. It's so much fun too because it syncs really well. I mean, not syncs, it just goes really well with the music. Like the clicks, it's just satisfying to do. And once you get it down, you never die here from zero. I think I've died here like once from zero, like in this area. This is the only hard part once you learn the click pattern. So because of that, I would give it a 4.5 out of 10. So yeah, time to play it. It's so consistent. Next hardest part is this quote unquote memory part. I don't really know what to call it. And once you get it down, it's just really consistent. There's just a few jumps that are pretty awkward, like this one and this one. And also, you can't really like hold for that long after clicking. You have to like do micro clicks, which I guess is not really that big of a deal. It becomes pretty satisfying to do, and my rating for it would be a 3 out of 10. Nothing too big of a deal. You shouldn't be dying here from zero unless nerves. So time for the showcase. Not gonna lie, the rest of Cataclysm after this part, or even just this part, is not actually that hard. Well, moving on is this part, which is even more memory than the last. Well, quote unquote memory. There's not much to say except for like, you know, there's a few fakes, just like, you know, a lot of like pulses. I don't know why he's using color triggers, but a lot of pulses, so it's kind of like hard to sight read. But once you learn it, you shouldn't die here. I mean, I got really unlucky. I died to the strafe. I'm disappointed. There is some difficulty in this part still, like these mini spikes and the fact that this is invisible for like the most part. Like you can see it's invisible until you get here, which is already after you have to click. So it is not that free, but you know, 2.9 out of 10 just because it's slightly easier than this part. Time for showcase. Okay, next up is a very well-known part, this wave. Many people, including me, struggled with this part, like when they were really bad at the game, but this part it's just like, you only die here because of the nerves. Everyone who gets here has a skill to beat it, basically like with their eyes closed. It's just really easy. The only somewhat annoyance in this part is the fact that like there's these saws sticking out, and like, like here, like it just double click, man. It's not rocket science. Everyone who plays this level at all in any capacity will not struggle with this part. This part, 1.5 out of 10, 1 out of 10. It's just, yeah, 1 out of 10. I'll give it that. 1 out of 10. If you can beat an easy demon, you can beat this. So time for the showcase. After talking all that smack, if I died right now, it'd be really funny. Okay, never mind. Well, you may be thinking, wait, you talked about that, and you're saying, oh, it's so easy, and then you forgot about this. No, I didn't. This section, learning it may seem like, bro, it's invisible, man. You can't see anything. It's black and black background. But I'm telling you, the second you learn it, if you die here from 0, that's just a disgrace. I'm not even doing that. It's just a disgrace to die here from 0. Like, let me show you some runs from this part. Like, look at this. It gets so consistent. And it's also extremely short, so it makes sense why it's easier than this wave. Give it a 0.9 out of 10. Now we basically are down to the last two parts, like the very beginning, very end. There's not much to say. Out to the end is harder just because the straight fly and the nerves. These parts, the beginning and end, they're both so easy. I'd give this part 0.5 out of 10. Like, this is literally like 5-star, 6-star. Like, it's just 3 like orbs. What do you want me to say? 0.5 out of 10, bro. 100%. And no wasting time. This beginning part is slightly easier than that, just because it doesn't have that straight fly and the nerves. So 0.4 out of 10. Nothing to say. I don't even need to do a showcase. Well, that does it for this video, guys. I'll put a list for all the hardest to easiest in order, and the ratings. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope this was informative, and hope you subscribe and watch my other videos.